play of the game from way down.
1, 2, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bombs going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombstastic gonna find Rainer.
Oh, the life finder keeps Maev up. It was going to be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of, no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
Hello and welcome back everybody to the NGS Rewind. Glad you could join us today here. I'm your host Arrow, but today I'm going to be joined by my co-caster Munkus. How you doing today, Munkus?
I'm doing great, Arrow. What do we have up today?
Well, for our second match here, we have... I'm trying to get your image posted here. Why isn't it loading? Oh, because I have the Discord thing, that's why. There we go. Now you're on the screen. For our second match here, we've got ReGen Blue versus Logical Decision. This is going to be a Division B West game, and was played a couple of days ago here. And, I mean, I'm all set up and ready to go. Anything that you want to share about these teams? Do you have any knowledge about these teams at all?
Well, we've scrimmed against Logical Decision a couple of times, and I know that they're a really solid team, so I'll be interested to see what they pull out in their real matches.
Sure. All right. Well, we are all set up here, so let me go ahead and get this game started. But while the game is loading, let's take a look at the maps here. So for our bans, ReGen Blue sticking with their tried and true ban on Braxis Holdout, along with Alterac Pass. Logical Decision banning out Battlefield of Eternity and Cursed Hollow. And our first map is going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
That's pretty standard. I think that unless Tomb and Shrines both get banned, everyone always goes Tomb or Shrines.
It does. They are the most played maps in NGS. Personally, I don't I don't specifically go to either of these maps because it seems like most other teams do. So I'd rather play places that they're a little bit less comfortable when I can make that happen. But that doesn't always work out in our favor.
All right, I see. We talked about this a little bit before the game. That there's a Tracer in this, and that's a little interesting because it doesn't look like that team is built to really support and enable Tracer. I usually see Tracer with a Pocket Tassadar.
Or like a Malfurion or somebody that can stick that healing onto her. But let's go ahead and introduce our teams here. I'm going to start with ReGen Blue here on the left. We've got Munkus on Tracer, Larson on Johanna, Jason on the Anduin. Lampico is going to be on the Gul'dan, Grendel on the Thrall.
And for the side of Logical Decision, we have Ziltoid on Junkrat, Snowglare on Jaina, Wafflecopter on Rhaegar, MJ Doom on Leoric, and E-Day 15 on ETC.
Alrighty, so we've got Leoric already heading, well, I was going to say already heading down to the bot lane to catch that soak. It looks like he's going to hang out in between, as is Grendel. So both of these solo laners hanging out, waiting for the other to show face first. What do you think of these level 1 talents?
Let's take a look. Looks like there's some pretty standard stuff, not seeing any huge surprises here.
I think the one, well, we are going to see a catch onto the Junkrat there in the top lane, so Power Slide in onto Johanna, but again, she's able to walk away. She's Johanna. That's a Johanna thing. Nice Chastise onto the Rhaegar, though. Might be enough to get the kill, and it is.
Wow, 2 kills already for the blue team. That's pretty impressive to have that happen this far in advance.
Yeah, 60 seconds into the game, and we already have 2 kills, and I'm not sure if they're both credited Tracer. I know one of them was. I don't know where that shows. That's not what it is. Where are these 2? Ah, well, I don't know. I thought it would show there, but I guess it didn't. So what I was going to mention about the level 1 talents is, Laws of Hope against the Junkrat and Jaina I almost feel like Iron Skin would have been... That's what I think I would have taken against this team.
I personally like Laws of Hope. I know I don't really play tank all that much, but just having that on-demand 30% heal is just so nice.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. So we'll see. It does give you an extra out having a shield and a heal. It's really just dependent on how much you need the unstoppable, and you know, against the Jaina and the burst potential, the shield does provide a lot of value too. But I guess if you're really good on the timing for your Laws of Hope, that can kind of help in the same way against the burst potential of this team.
And it looks like Logical Decision is getting a little bit ahead in their rotation. They can leverage that and possibly get some of that experience they lost from the 2 early deaths.
And that's a little bit surprising if you think about it, because we've got Jaina versus Gul'dan from a wave clear perspective. Well, really a Gul'dan Johanna. I really would have thought that Gul'dan would be allowing them to outpace Logical Decision.
Well, yeah, and even as I say that, Logical Decision, they missed about half of their wave down mid in a clash with ReGen Blue.
Yeah, and that's the second time now that Tracer getting caught, bringing down to about half health, even really lower than half health with just a couple of attacks, is able to blink away. But that's going to be a difficult thing as this game goes on. You know, that one stun from an ETC power slide could turn into a death.
Dan's in trouble, but he barely gets away. At about 500 life left.
All right, level 5 and 6 here. So level 4 talents available. We do see the piercing from Johanna's Frost Bolts, the face melt additional range as well, and taste for explosions, of course, from the Junkrat.
Yeah, all standard picks. I see that a Tracer did not elect for the all-in talent at level 4. And
and it's probably a good thing. She did go all in on that Junkrat, helped to get the kill with the secure from Gul'dan there, but pays for it with her life. And this is an interesting talent. We don't see this very often. Is that a health pack, allowing Tracer to get additional healing from regen globes and healing fountains. So
yeah, it's usually the bombs on recall, I think.
Right. Yep. Or if you're particularly, you know, spicy, then you go untouchable, and then you just cry every time you die and lose all your stacks.
Right. Then you're basically auto attack Alera.
Exactly. But I wouldn't expect something like that from this team comp, and I assume that the kind of the idea here is, you know, give Tracer as much survivability as possible since she doesn't have that Tracer, or I'm sorry, that Tassadar to enable her.
And I mean, there are a ton of globes since you're rotating between the 2 lanes.
Right. So Leap of Faith used on Gul'dan to pull him away from the Leoric that was coming up from below. So that'll be a good, what, 90, 100 second cooldown or so. Level 7's here for both teams, but again, power slide in up top here onto Jason and Munkus. This time they're going after the Anduin, and they do secure that kill.
That's a little unfortunate. Anduin was a little out of position being that far forward without his tank.
He had Tracer. And Tracer's been who they've been going at the last few times, but obviously she's been able to make it away all but the one, so... ETC zoning out for Snowglare is able to secure the first Web Weaver of this game.
Right, ReGen Blue, what they need to do, they need to have really good positioning here. Tracer can escape, but Gul'dan and Anduin, they can't really get away, and Johanna doesn't exactly peel that well. Oh, Tracer goes down, as I say that.
Yeah, Tracer was in a 1v4 scenario there and didn't have enough blinks to quite get away. The slows from Jaina able to help them lock her down enough to get that kill right in front of the wall. And that's going to give a little bit more value here as Larson, taking boatloads of damage, almost gets knocked over the wall there. Almost also gets hit by the Web Weaver's wave of shadow there as well. So, wall taken out, and now moving on to the fort.
I'm looking at Gul'dan's build. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's a little interesting that he elected to go for Hunger for Power, considering how much his team is being dived on and that he is corruption build. Like, it gives you a lot more damage, sure, but if you're already in corruption build and you're in danger of dying a lot, I think that just going onto the cooldown on your E is a little bit safer.
Yeah, Logical Decision has been remarkably aggressive here. Level 10 talents online for them now as well. So, well, level 10 is almost available here for blue as well. So, I was going to say I expect them to be a little bit aggressive, but they didn't really have a whole lot of time. But they do have enough for another Webweaver turn-in.
Yeah, and getting 2 Webweaver turn-ins really early, back-to-back, is pretty hard to come back from.
That was an amazing leap of faith there to get Gul'dan out of trouble, but the Riptire securing the kill onto the Tracer anyway. And Jason in danger here. The Concussion Mine missed, however, but there go 30-plus gems simply from Johanna. A few more there from the Anduin as well. I think that was, let's see, 20, 30, about 37 gems that they just lost.
Yeah, that was a little bit of highway robbery right there.
Nah. But they just still have enough to turn in on Grendel here in the bot lane, picking up this siege camp, but it's not going to matter as Ziltoid turning in, going to get that second Webweaver here for Logical Decision.
He's down there, and he's all alone, and he's their bank right now. If Logical Decision picks up on this, he could be in some trouble, but nope, he gets it for free.
Yeah, I think that they were less concerned about him getting the siege camp and stalling out the bot lane with Leoric there than the value they get out of this Webweaver push in the top lane. Because it goes, you know, far enough that they can, you know, start getting some damage onto the keep wall. Water Elemental popped out, and the retreat ping's going out from ReGen Blue now, allowing the Spider to make its way toward the keep. Light Bomb going out, followed up by the Horrify. Jason might live. Wow, the Riptire getting taken out just at the door there.
You hate to see it happen.
Well, I suppose that depends on, you know, which team you are. Because I'm sure ReGen Blue had a big sigh of relief.
But I always like to see ults go off and pop off in really spicy ways, so...
Well, the Webweaver in the top lane did not get a whole lot of value, and that Condemn pulling in probably just saved somebody's life as it prevented the power slide from ETC from actually getting any stun value here.
And looks like there's going to be a little bit of damage done to this middle keep, and now Grendel's just holding on to even more gems. He really needs to turn in. It's a really dangerous situation to be holding on to that many gems. He's halfway to the cap.
Yeah, I think it's been quite some time. I remember a game in HGC where they had some, like, 2 people had 80-plus gems, and we actually just had a game recently on Tomb of the Spider Queen where we had 80-plus on one player and 60 or something, or 60 or 70 on another player. It's, you know, it can be really tough when, especially when there's a Junkrat on the other side here. Tried to get that turn in, but with the rotation from Logical Decision, not able to do so.
Whoa, that's a very interesting interaction there.
Some great timing, yeah.
And Rhaegar attacked, jumped over the Entomb, and down goes Johanna. And Anduin, wow. Junkrat just sniping people.
Yeah, really getting the value out of that Riptire. Even though the Entomb didn't secure the kill, it allowed them to set up for the kill, make use of the, or make them pull that leap of faith early and secure the kill once that Riptire came out.
Yeah, Ziltoid's doing a really good job here. He's got about 70 stacks done on his quest. Level 4. And he's doing a ton of damage, and it looks like they're going to get this boss just for free. Boss and turn-in is available.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're waiting on, is they want to get the turn-in, do the boss, and this is... I don't want to say it's undefendable, but it's as close as you can possibly get. I mean, a boss plus turn on this map, when it's going straight into a keep, is... it's almost always game.
That... and they're going to have 16 advantage in a second after they get these towers down.
So we'll see. This is the time for ReGen Blue to make their stand. They've got all 5 of their team up in this top lane.
But they just need to... What they really need to do is land all of their cooldowns, or land all their heroics, and just have a huge CC chain going on. But here it goes.
Yeah, the Riptire on Johanna is not a way to start that. They did dodge the Entomb, but ultimately a quick kill onto Johanna. They still have 3/4 of the health on the Webweaver, half of the boss, and the Mosh Pit going out on just Tracer. But Sundering and Horrify used to interrupt it, but Tracer's still going down.
Yeah, this has to be game. There's absolutely no coming back from this. Very nicely done by Logical Decision. A very clean game.
All right, let's pop that over to Logical Decision for the point. And let's pop up the stats here for people to take a look at real quick. We'll do talents first to show those for a moment. Let's see. Getting set up for game number 2 while showing these here, so. Alright. And the statistics. Once again, welcome everybody in chat. Chat's a little quiet today. That's okay, it's a Sunday, relax. Enjoy your 3-day weekend.
And college football season just started.
Well, there you go. Mega Muffin has just arrived. Welcome. Just the one game so far, Mega Muffin. We're gonna get set up for game number 2 here in just a moment. So game number 2 is gonna be on Towers of Doom. It was the selection of ReGen Blue.
I wonder if we'll actually see an Abathur on this map, since this is probably his best map.
The answer to that question is no.
Aw.
Yeah, sorry. But we do see some other heroes that have been adjusted and have come up in the spotlight since the patch here earlier this week. We're gonna see a Kel'Thuzad.
Ooh, Kel'Thuzad.
Who were you saying? Li Ming?
Mm-hmm.
There is no Li Ming. No. Let's see.
I wonder if we're gonna see any level 20 explosion combos with this KTZ.
You know, I mean, it's almost difficult to tell with the level 10 being able to reset when you hit a hero.
Oh, well, I'm talking about level 20, where if you hit a hero with your ult, it casts it again on top of them.
Right, and that's what I was getting at. Is like it's hard to tell whether it's the reset cast or whether it's just the cast again. But if it was the cast again, you'll get 2 of them going on at once. I haven't actually seen that interaction. Have you?
One shot on 4 people, it shoots 4 explosions after that.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
Yeah. It happened to us in our game on Wednesday. I still need to clip it. It's insane.
That would be what you guys were talking about in the game we saw the other day. Got it. Okay. All right, game number 2 is all set up. It's going to be Towers of Doom. Let's talk about these bans here while the game gets set up here. So ReGen Blue banned out Sylvanas, Zeratul, and Anduin. Logical Decision banned out Shen, Kael'thas, and ETC. So there you go. There are your bans.
And you said Mongoose is usually their tank player, and he was on Tracer last game and Leorc this game.
Indeed. So a little bit of a role shifting. Lompico not normally on their team. It looks like that was an off-roster sub that they picked up so that they could play the game. So Probably some adjustments being made to the overall placements here. Why don't we go ahead and start with logical decision this time? Take it away, Munkus.
All right. We had Ziltoid on Raynor, Snowglare on Jada, Wafflecopter on Malfurion, MJ Doom on Malthael, and E-Day15 on Johanna.
All right, and for ReGen Blue, we've got Jason on the Phoenix. Larson's going to be playing the Muradin. Munkus on Leoric, Lompico on Tyrande, and Grendel on Kel'Thuzad.
You know, since there's a Malthael and a Leoric here, I wonder if they're going to go for the old double soak strategy.
You know, I mean, you see it a lot in Towers of Doom, so it would not surprise me, especially with those heroes. So we do have Pale Horse for Malthael.
It would be heavily favored to Malthael now because Leoric would consume Vitality instead of the thing that makes his Qs super strong. Although, I will say that that Phoenix can match that double soak pretty well.
Grendel getting super low here, and Tyrande, Lompico just doing everything possible to try to keep him alive. Is able to disengage. That was incredibly close.
I think they were both sub 200 at that point.
Oh, easily. So we'll...
Yeah, ReGen Blue is having to go with a 1-1-3 setup, and they're essentially laning against 4 people right now.
Yep, so we'll see. ReGen Blue is on their camp, as is Logical Decision. And Jaina working on hers by herself. So ReGen Blue should be able to get theirs a little bit faster, but they're also potentially going to miss out on some soak here in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's always the trade-off. You want to make sure that you get the camps done as soon as possible and also not miss the soak. It's one reason why I think that the double soaking strat is so strong on this map.
So it does look like they were able to get there before they lost more than just the one minion. And 3 versus 2 in the bot lane here, as the siege camps meeting in the middle.
I still find it a little interesting that the Logical Decision has opted not to go for the double soak when it's Phoenix in the top lane and Leoric in the mid lane.
Oops, accidentally popped onto a tower there. Yeah, it is a little bit surprising, and we may see more of that later in the game, as Malthael's picks up his talents and the rest of the team is able to push a little bit harder in the bot lane by themselves.
He started to do the double soak, but Raynor is still mid. I just feel like that if Raynor was bottom with his team, they'd get a lot accomplished with the... Oh, but Doom is going down. Looks like Phoenix might secure the kill. Oh, Doom got away and he went back in!
But it looks like Jason is going to be paying for that kill with his life. So 1 for 1 here, equalized. And 3v3 in the bot lane here. Leoric able to pick up his side. Raynor picking up the red side, and Ziltoid is, yeah, he's primary rostered. Lompico is a sub for ReGen Blue.
That was a pretty dangerous spot for ReGen Blue. They had a number of people close to death, and KTZ is at about 9 stacks, so KTZ isn't a full hero just yet.
Yeah, and it's such a huge amount of difference. I mean, look at how much this is. I mean, once you get to that 30 stacks, 75% spell power. Once you get to 15, you get that Glacial Spike, allowing to lock people down, but doesn't take much lockdown to stop the Leoric when you've got the Raynor and Jaina combo bursting him down, essentially standing still, even though using that Wraith Walk. Of course, he's trying to get away.
Right, and it's also really, really hard to lock down Johanna. If she can just pop the Unstoppable, and if your chain hits her, that messes up your combo completely.
Yeah. You still get the point, if I remember correctly, for his quest.
You do, but it pulls them to... It will pull the person directly to Jaina instead of having them meet in the middle.
To Johanna, yeah. Or to any other
Johanna, yes,
with the
right.
Unstoppable with the cleanse. Which actually, there are times where that's beneficial, and you actually want to have something like that. So as long as you're mindful of those abilities, the Kel'Thuzad chains can be quite valuable onto Unstoppable targets. But Murden's going to get melted here by Logical Decision, and even Leoric there having to Wraith Walk away. Larson going back in, didn't get a lot of healing out of the second wind. And that's going to give Logical Decision the opportunity to get some solid push down here in the bot lane as the altar spawning in the mid-range.
Yeah, Logical Decision is doing pretty well, pushing with 4 right now. They have a slight experience lead probably from the 1 extra kill that they have.
So Malthael and Phoenix now joining. Phoenix has no shielding, and again the health bars of Blue so very low. Phoenix having to warp away there. I am amazed that there have not been any kills out of these teams on this fight.
Yeah, they all just escaping by the skin of their teeth, but if they can survive to get Kel'Thuzad fully online and hit level 10, I think they'll be in a pretty good situation.
And that's going to be a difficult prospect right now, at least, as the Logical Decision crew sitting up about 3/4 of a level, almost to level 10. And ReGen Blue doing what they can to stall out these Pumpkin Sappers to try to keep them from getting value onto the tower, but it looks like they're all going to make it through, bringing the tower down to about half health. Kel'Thuzad continuing to stack, getting those roots, but level 10's now available for Logical Decision, and we see the Water Elemental already taking the tower shots for the team and allowing them to secure this bottom fort.
Oh, this is bad news for ReGen Blue. I don't think they have the wave clear and siege necessary to take this tower back. All Logical Decision has to do really is camp out in this bottom lane.
And not be too aggressive about it either. There's the pull onto Raynor, but the root just a little bit off where it needed to be to lock him down. So 22 stacks now for Kel'Thuzad, 8 for Murden at his level 1. And Jaina's sitting about halfway there, although she's got 18 out of 20 globes, so she'll be getting that 10% additional damage from her cold stacking very soon.
And it looks like now if you're in like it's a good Twilight Dream, and I do think that's the correct pickup here.
So both altars up in the top here. Stormbolt just missing Malthael. And it looks like we're going to see the rotation up now from Logical Decision as these altars are just coming online. And look at this bush party.
I want to point out Phoenix went Planet Cracker, which is a little odd considering he has a KTZ on this team.
But he also has a Leoric, so we could very well see the Entomb Planet Cracker. They do both sides channel their objective and not quite able to get as much damage there as he would like, but that was into a choke point. But Murden getting the root and going to the graveyard. So 1 for 1 in that overall.
1 for 1, but Logical Decision came out ahead in that fight because even though they traded towers, Logical Decision has 1 more tower.
Absolutely. And we see Phoenix up in the top lane trying to continue with that soak, maybe get a little bit of value onto the top fort, but Malthael is back now to kind of pause that pressure. Let's take a look at those two, because looks like Malthael is chasing him down. I was going to say we might see the last rites getting the kill, and we do.
Ooh, that's the last thing that you needed if you're ReGen Blue. You really need to have the extra soak and pressure in the other 2 lanes to make up for this lost bottom lane. This is going to put them really on the back foot. This is a map of comebacks, but I just don't know what they're going to do to get the lead back. They definitely need to get Kel'Thuzad fully online.
Yeah, and Kel'Thuzad sitting at 25 stacks. We've got 3 Pumpkin Sappers coming through here. They are right at the line, so Blue has to be careful. Phoenix getting caught in the root, but he is able to back away. Minions away now, so 2 of the Pumpkin Sappers down. Jaina at 4 health. They do get the kill there from Tyrande. But
that was a use of a lot of ults to make sure they got that kill. They really needed it too. Ooh, trade on Tyrande.
And that should pretty well secure this bottom altar now for Logical Decision, putting them a little bit more ahead, bringing down ReGen Blue to 17. We're going to see the stall with the Planet Cracker. Not the ideal scenario of using that ult for simply a stall, especially when you're not going to be able to get it. There's the Entomb here, but there's no real potential follow-up. We do see that the Kel'Thuzad finishing his quest, but he's going to die right at the gates of his core.
Look how gutsy the Logical Decision is playing this. They're walking right into the death zone, and they are not caring at all. They're securing kills, even when they're behind what should be a safety zone.
Yeah, and you know, part of that I think comes from the fact that they have Malfurion, so allowing them to go in with that regrowth healing and the Moonfire burst. And then they just walk away, because look at how healthy they are, too. Every single player on the side of Logical Decision down here is full health.
Yeah, Malfurion is a really strong healer that sometimes gets slept on in this league. He outputs a lot of damage and a lot of healing, and that silence is no joke.
A lot of damage going on to Johanna. They do get the kill onto her, but they lose Phoenix in the process. Munkus looking really low, is going to be the next one to fall. And Snowglare popping the ice block to stay alive through that death and decay. Lunar Flare almost able to secure the kill, but instead Jaina popping off and killing the Muradin. And oh, by the way, also the Kel'Thuzad. And that's a full team wipe, as Malthael was able to secure the kill onto Phoenix earlier as well. And this is a triple altar phase. There are 15 points here available, and a boss. This could actually, and also the pumpkin sappers. Yeah, so if Raynor can pick this up, send that through, at the very least they have to defend one of these.
Yeah, if they get even two of these, then that's all but game. They just need the sappers and two of these and the boss.
So Phoenix stalling out the bot, although again I feel like that's minimal value, as nothing was going to stop that Malfurion. Nobody was close enough. So a full defense here coming up on the top altar. We're going to see the pumpkin sappers making it through here in a moment at the bot lane. So they do channel out their own altar. They're still in this game, at least for now, as they dive in, and Mongoose taking so much damage. The last rites I think was scheduled for Leoric, but it doesn't matter. Muradin going down. Now Grendel on the run has almost no health, retreating back to their fort. There's still an altar and there's still a boss. They can, Logical Decision can come back and win this game just by picking up those two things, but instead they're gonna come over and pick up the fort.
They don't need this. They just need to cap it and take boss, and then it's over.
And I was gonna say, I think you go for the boss first.
I mean, you do both.
Well, fair enough. I was just thinking, if you go for the boss, it's the easier play for ReGen Blue to get into and potentially cause a problem. The altar is a little bit easier to defend. Mongoose going in, just trying to increase his KDA stats, right?
Oh, the chain ults. All for naught. Wow. Good game. Logical Decision. Wow, 50,000 damage done by Raynor. With that Jada, he essentially was having perpetual ace in the hole active on the enemy team. He just crapped out that damage. 0 deaths too. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, indeed, no doubt. 4 kills to 16, very much in favor of Logical Decision on this. Again, the stats very heavily in favor as far as the hero damage. Even the siege damage there, Malthael putting out a little bit more than the Phoenix. Healing very much in favor of that Malfurion, able to put out a lot more than the Tyrande there. And I'm not as familiar with the healer side of things, so I don't know if that's reasonable, or if that was just because ultimately those fights were not taking long enough for Tyrande to be able to reset her heals, so she basically got 2 in every fight, it seemed like.
Yeah, it was hard for her to get close to the enemy team. They were just out poking her a whole lot.
Right.
And I mean, Tyrande and Malfurion, they both don't do much healing if you are, fully engaged on the enemy team.
Right. All right, well, that's going to be our match between ReGen Blue and Logical Decision. That's match number 2. Coming up here next, we've got a Division A game. In fact, we've got 2 back-to-back. We've got Lion Speed versus ReGen Ghost. Following that, we're going to see Team Training Wheels versus ReGen Retro. And later today, Archon versus Keanu Reeves in Heroic. Munkus, that's it for us right now. I appreciate you joining me. Anything you want to say to Twitch before you take off for the day?
No, just that the playoffs are starting. Everybody get pumped. Everybody get excited. And we already have our game set up to be played on Sunday.
Excellent. I forgot. Let's show these standings here. So ReGen Blue sitting there, number 12. They're out of the playoffs. Logical Decision sitting at number 5, tied with Reborn Knights White. There are still a couple of Div B West games that have not been played yet, so that that playoff race still looks like it could be shaken up just a bit. So make sure you check out the schedule. There are a couple of games tonight. At least one of them is a Div B West game. I believe, actually, Logical Decision versus Spooky Ghost. And would you believe that I'll be casting that?
Amazing.
I know. That'll be at twitch.tv/Arrow of the Storm. We also have a Div D East game. I do not remember both teams. I remember one team. I don't want to say both since I can't remember both. But that'll be starting at 9 o'clock. The Logical Decision, if I remember correctly, is at 10:30. So make sure you stop by for those. Munkus, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day and good luck with your playoff run.
All right. Thank you very much.